Namaskar and a very pleasant good afternoon to all of you. I, Sangeeta Kaul, on behalf of DELNET, extends a very hearty welcome to each one of you for joining us today at the DELNET's monthly webinar series. We are organizing yet another webinar today for our library professionals, the webinar on soft skills and change management for LIS professionals. At the very outset, I would like to welcome our distinguished speaker of this afternoon, Dr. Surabhi Pandey, the Assistant Professor at Indian Institute of Public Administration. We welcome you, Dr. Surabhi. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor for us to have you with us this afternoon. And thank you very much for acceding to our request to be there with each one of us at this online platform. I also take immense pleasure in welcoming our library and information science professionals and experts who have joined us not only from India, from different nooks and parts of the country, but also many of them who have joined us from various countries. We take a very special pleasure in welcoming each one of you to today's program. We also welcome the students of the Department of Library and Information Science who have joined us again from different parts of the country. It's indeed an honor to have each one of you to today's program. So today we are deliberating on a topic which holds a great relevance to each one of us, the library and information science professionals, as we are going to dwell on the soft skills, which is now the new power skills that we speak about, and also about the change management in the libraries, and especially what are the new roles that we as a library and information science professionals have to learn when we are talking about the current times. Today is the time when we think about not only of the skilling, but also of the upskilling and reskilling the library and information science professionals. And as the soft skills have now been it has gained a wide kind of an acceptance across various job sectors. And according to the very recent job report, which is a Future of Job report, it's an international reporting about the future of jobs, among the top 10 skill sets which are being required by the employers, just to name a few, which all falls into the soft skills like creativity, people's management, emotional intelligence, and critical thinking. They are among the top 10 skills which are required, and this also holds good and it's applicable for the library and information science profession. So we have got with us a very expert speaker, one of the most fine speaker and acclaimed speaker who has been training and providing training to the various very senior officials being associated at Indian Institute of Public Administration, a premier institution in the country, which is imparting training for public administration and management. Today, we are also speaking about, she's going to dwell on the change management, which is a very, very important thing. As being said by Charles Darwin's theory of species, all of us are being aware about it, that it's not the most intellectual species who is going to survive. It's not the strongest species who is going to survive. The species who is going to adapt to the change, that is the one which is going to win the race and is going to survive forever. And that's where we, library and information science professionals, we find ourselves at the crossroads. The pandemic has shown, last 1.5 years has been the testing times for everyone, and also for the library and information science professionals, both when we talk about the soft skilling, because yes, working from home, working offline, in the online mode, and more skilling required to keep on having the communications alive with our users, with our various faculty members and others, and change management also one of the major area which remain. So we have immense pleasure in welcoming Dr. Surabhi Pandey, and I have immense pleasure in introducing you all to Dr. Surabhi Pandey, who is an assistant professor at IIPA. Dr. Pandey holds a PhD in computer science, an MPhil in computer science, MCA, MCA, and PDDM in digital marketing, and also has a master's program in data science. Her areas of research includes cloud computing, security, cybersecurity, and data analytics. She has also been awarded with the GOC in C Western Command Commendation Card, which is one of the most rarest recognition being given, and we are very proud to have our distinguished speaker to have been bestowed with it. Dr. Pandey has got more than 14 plus years of professional and academic experience, and she has been delivering expert talks on the in her various areas of specializations, including, besides cybersecurity and data analytics, also on e-governance, digital marketing, knowledge management, leadership, communications, and the very topic of today's program, that is on the change management. She also has been a principal member of Educational and Skill Development Services Sectional Committees, SSD 04 of the Bureau of Indian Standards, has been decorated with the prestigious Indian Army GOC in Sea Western Command, as I said earlier, in 2015, has also received Best Research Paper Award in International Conference organized by CERT in 2016, received 3E Fellow Award from 3E Innovative Foundation, and she has been one of the most finest. It's really wonderful to see the vast spectrum of her specializations. That's evident in the various areas in which she imparts training while being at IIPA. The trainer of data analytics BI tool, Tableau, and digital marketing, certified Microsoft Office specialist in Excel, trainer of cyber awareness programs and data security, and yes, also a trainer in soft skills and change management. It's a very impressive profile that you see. It's an arduous task for anyone to really introduce a speaker who holds such a vast experience with her. She has, as we could gather, she has imparted training to senior officials of defense and administrative services in the area of cyber safe strategies, cyber diplomacy and peace, imparted training in the cybersecurity and forensic tools, data analytics, and also imparted training to more than 1,500 judges in the areas of cybersecurity, imparted training to approximately 200 officers of Central Tibet Administration and Leadership and Public Administration, and also to many more NGOs, dealing with the change management, transformation, many things. I would not like to stand between you and Dr. Surabhi Pandey, and it's indeed a pleasure and honor for us, Dr. Pandey. Once again, many thanks for being there, taking out time. We have been able to notice that how busy you have been with your online conducting of the programs and also in person that you're holding it at IIPA. And thank you very much for taking out time for us and being there in addressing our library and information science professionals. We all look forward to hearing from you, and I have immense pleasure now in requesting you to kindly start the session. It's over to you, Dr. Surabhi.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta, and indeed my pleasure today. Wonderful initiative by DELNET for today talking about soft skills and change management. Again, as you said, a wide spectrum. I'm an engineer, and today I'm talking about soft skill. In a similar manner, I must say, the soft skill to the change management is a wide spectrum to cover in an hour of time. But I'll try and justify within whatever the time has limited given to me, 45 minutes and so. So I welcome all the audience to this session of soft skills and change management. I'll try and make it as interactive as it is possible with the case studies and certain games which I have imbibed in this presentation. Probably I'll bother the other part, the DELNET also, to kindly sync my soft skill with your technical expertise. And this is how we are going to manage the change of today's show. So thank you, DELNET team and Dr. Sangeeta for organizing this event. And I welcome my audience for the session. Change management, one word for a change. Can I get a quick reply from my audience? One word for a change. One word for a change. The director can also take a part in this. One word for a change. We can use the chat box. I request my audience to give one word for a change. What change is for you? What you think is a change? I can't see any answer.
Yeah, this is Transformation by Rashmi Kumbhar. Change the local governance, Surabhi Pandey. Grow, Aman Kumar Khushwal. Different, Neha Singhal has said. They're still writing. Okay. Constant by Pritha. Adapt, innovation.
Okay. Constant.
Papinder Kaur. Yes. Development by Nirhari. Future ready by Pratap Das. Rakesh Goyal said we change our thoughts. Development is coming back again. Innovation, constant, future ready. Implementation of new ideas by Srinu Katam. Simple Grover from Dubai has said experimentation and implementing new skills, ready to learn, Dr. Vinod Kumar Sharma. Not much. It's there. It's just now, coming up like anything, change in behavior, new things and ideas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it is from the innovation. Change is the only constant. Change is the only inevitable. From new ideas to growth, opportunity to challenges, flexibility to adaptability. Wonderful for your responses. That's what I'm looking for. You think is a change, and are we ready for a change? So here we will play a small game. Are you ready with the mind? Are you ready, or your mind is ready for the change? And I request my audience to intervene in between, and you can use the chat box to reply also. So here we go. Follow the instruction. The first one. Can we move ahead? The next slide. So what you have to do is, I'm going to show you certain shape and you have to identify. Okay. First, you have to pick up one word, the one word which you can see in a second of time, and please write it in your copy. The one word, fast. Can we move on to the next slide? One word. Done. So who has seen what? Who has seen what? Any idea who has seen what? The one word you have seen immediately when we flash the slide and you seen one word. Can I get some reply? I can't see anything in the chat box.
No, there's no response as of now. There's no response. I think we have to give them a little more time, perhaps. We'll go back again.
Okay, we go back.
Yeah, we'll go back. Yeah, let's keep a little pause on this because they may be taking a little time in going through this jigsaw puzzle, they are into, so they have to look out for. And now we'll just request them now, please come forward and tell us what you have seen in this. So please kindly write it in the chat box.
Write the first word which you have seen in that. Yeah, we can see what is in the chat box. I can't see anything, because the chat is not coming from the everyone.
Yeah, no, they have not written anything yet. No, nothing has been posted yet in the chat box. We request you, please write it in the chat box.
Not an issue, not an issue.
Yeah, because we are not able to see.
See, it's a soft skill, and in a soft skill, there are many things important.
They have not posted anything.
Okay, so let us move a previous slide. Okay, we go to the previous slide. The previous slide. If you have captured something in your memory, that's okay. You can reply. Take your time. Now you have to. This is the slide. You have to see the first word and you write it somewhere in your copy. We'll discuss in a subsequent slide. Moving ahead, identify the color. Identify the color of the shape. Is it a red color?
No.
Or you can use the chat box. You can unmute. You can say. Next slide. It's okay. Is it a which color? Yellow or a black? Black, yellow. I can't hear anything from the audience, so it is quite difficult.
No, in fact,
can we move ahead?
No, see, they are not posting it in the chat box, Dr. Pandey. And if we want to hear them, we have to give them a control. They can't unmute themselves. No, we have to unmute.
Write anything on the chat box. No, I request my audience kindly use the chat box.
No, they can write in the chat box. They have been writing in the chat box, and they need to write it in the chat box.
Judge the answer. You are the one who are going to judge this. So when I say identify the color, and I'm changing the color, right? I'm changing the color. The first was something flash. Now the second and the third. This is the first one, second and the third. The color is pink or purple? Pink or purple?
No,
okay, next. Blue or green?
It's green.
Wonderful. So, okay, next. Okay, so wonderful. We just stop here. So why I'm changing the color is basically, I've told you that identify the color of shape. And you may find that I have written red and red, and the color is something, blue, green. So the color of the text is different, but the color of the shape is different. I was just switching in between your mind and my instruction. So I was just observing you. Your mind is ready to accept this change of instruction with your observation. So I'm sure you would have answered very well. I didn't get anything on the chat box, but I'm sure the director, Dr. Sangeeta, might have received appropriate answer that my audience is all set for the change and why change is important in our life and why it is an important integrated with the soft skill part. I'll be initiating here our opening case study. I request kindly why change given a lot of definition to me, from transformation to growth to adaptability, flexibility, innovation, future, transformation. A lot of answer you have posted in the chat box, but why that change is important in our life, I'll be discussed with this opening case of Our Iceberg is Melting. Our Iceberg is Melting is a case study written by a John Speakotter. John Speakotter is also known as the father of leadership and change management, and is a professor with the Harvard Business School. He has written a number of cases, and this is one of the cases which is very dear to my heart, that is Our Iceberg is Melting. My dear participants, this case study is about more than 700 pages, but today I'm going to mimic this case in front of you, might be in 2 minutes. But when I'm narrating this case, with my gesture and with my voice, using all my soft skills, you have to actually connect with me and understand this case study. And after 2 minutes of time, the forum is open where you have to answer certain question. I'll float a question and you have to answer the question. So Our Iceberg is Melting is a case study about an Antarctica island. Can we change the slide? Our Iceberg is Melting is a case study about an Antarctica island. In an Antarctica island where thousands of penguins living happily. The penguin was a heavy body and small fin. They jump on that Antarctica and living a very happy life as the way we live in a community. They also sustaining the livelihood and day-to-day transaction of that Antarctica island by a means of different, roles and responsibility. So like we have our directors, we have our subordinates, we have a junior staff. In a similar manner, in that Antarctica island, they also have a president of Antarctica island, the managers and the subordinate who can look after the day-to-day transaction and lives in a community happily and sustain livelihood. What happened one day, there is the smallest penguin, the notorious penguin, who was roaming around in that Antarctica island. When he was roaming around in that Antarctica island, he discovered a small hole. So he discovered a small hole. The moment he saw that hole, he started shouting, there is a hole, there is a hole, there is a hole. But nobody is actually paying attention. Why? Because he's the smallest penguin and he's very notorious for his activity. So nobody is actually paying attention. Everyone is like, he's furious, he's crazy. What happened, he thought, how should I communicate a message? And this is a case of urgency, because when there is a hole, the water comes up and the whole Antarctica may submerged, drowned inside the water. So then he thought, let me go and share my message to somebody who holds certain command in that Antarctica island. So he communicated a message to a very strongest built penguin who is holding certain, stay in that Antarctica. And he had communicated a message that, look, there is a hole and it is a case of an emergency. It is a matter of life and death. He said, come on, chap, you must be playing a prank as usually you're famous for this. He said, no, it is a serious matter. He said, you come with me, I'll show you that. They both had gone to that place and witnessed that there is a hole. And after a minute of time, they both had gone to the president of that Antarctica island and communicated a message that, sir, this is the situation. There is a hole, and if the hole comes, we cannot ignore. We ignore this hole. Slowly and gradually may find the water is coming up and the whole Antarctica may submerge. So we hardly have any time. We have a 72 hours of time. That is what we estimated. So the president, initially he patiently listened all the story and then he reacted in a similar manner the way we react in our life. Since you brought the problem, give me the solution. Sorry. So everybody is actually looking for a solution. Nobody bothers about problem. So it's better let us discuss about the solution. Forget about the problem that there is a hole in that Antarctica island. Then the smallest penguin, he immediately, the moment president said, since you brought the problem, give me the solution, the smallest penguin said, sir, I can give the solution, but I need certain authority. Then I can show you my sense of responsibility. He said, he's very commanding. What kind of authority you're looking for? So the president said, what kind of authority you're looking for? So the smallest penguin said, sir, I need to syndicate 2 groups with a 10 and the penguins in that group, 2 syndicate A and B with the 10 members in that syndicate. He said, okay, and what you're going to do with that 20 members? He said, you leave up to me, sir. I'll show my sense of accountability and responsibility. You just give me the authority. He said, okay, the 10 finest penguins given to these two gentlemen, and now you can give me the solution. You have only 48 hours of time, over and out. Okay, after the president has given his verdict, they both, all the penguin, they all come, reach to the edge of that Antarctica island. So they reach to the edge of the Antarctica island, and suddenly the smallest penguin announced, let's jump inside the water. So the rest of the penguin is like, he is actually a fool. I am telling you, he is a fool, because penguin with this heavy personality, with the small fins like this bird, how can swim inside the water? He is a crazy guy. He is going to lose his life. Along with that, he wanted to lose our own life. We still have a life for 72 hours. We wanted to live at peace and happily. You go and jump and sacrifice your life. All the best. So they have sent the message, all 20 members, 19 members has given a message to that smallest penguin, and the smallest penguin, after listening this word from the syndicate members, immediately jumped inside the water. The moment smallest penguin jumped inside the water, the moment he jumped, he was about to drown. He's immediately going down, and still there's a spur of a moment. Once your body comes up, and there is a spur of a moment, you start breathing, the bubbling coming out with the air bubbles. He paddled so hard with the fins. He paddled so hard that he started, with paddling, little bit of going up and down, and started surviving, and paddled so hard that he learned an art of swimming. And in another moment of time, he started floating inside the water. And in another moment, he started eating fish and crabs. Looking at that, the rest of the penguin mesmerized. Wow, there is a life inside the water. It's not just a struggle. So after looking at that, it is the conscious decision of all the rest of the penguin. They jump inside the water. They were about to drown, but the struggle and story is saying they pedaled hard, they survived and learned an art of swimming. Looking at this, can I change the slide? Looking at this, the second syndicate this time with the heroic penguin, they decided this time the motivation is so high that they together decided to jump inside the water. The struggle and story is saying that they paddled hard, many survived, many drowned, but this time the motivation is so high that they decided to swim 1,000 miles. And after 1,000 miles, they discover a new island. And they're back with the solution to the president that, sir, we have a life in the water. And the second is, we have another island after 1,000 miles. And thereafter, the president decided that every year we are going to change our iceberg. And the story ends here. So I think I've completed within 2 minutes of time. The whole story has changed, and this is, I've already done that one word for change. And what is important here to understand, I request kindly take it to the previous slide, and to understand the previous slide, to understand what is this our iceberg is melting in terms of the professional way of leading organization transformation. The one thing is related to the soft skill is communication part. The communication is very important. Identify the solution. Somebody said change is a solution, change is a problem also. So my question is, who is the leader in this case study? Who is the leader in this case study? I'm sure many of you must have answered the little penguin. I'm sure many of you must have answered the little penguin. And why that little penguin is a master of the ceremony, and why that little penguin emerged out as a leader? Because he has a courage. Because he has a courage. He has a risk-taking capabilities. He one who, he's the one who identify the problem. Is not just the identify the problem, but he knows the communication channel also. He knows the communication channel, the where to reach to actually communicate on the higher up. So he knows to create an urgency, I have to speak to someone who has some stay, and then reaching to the president of that Antarctica island. So following the communication is well taken care by the smallest penguin, who has a wisdom how to communicate, when to communicate, and where to communicate. That is a part of soft skill. The second is that he identified the problem as an opportunity, and with that opportunity, he emerged out as a leader. So we all are individual, our leader in our respective place. It all depends on the action. we certainly recognize that the smallest penguin is a leader because of the action. So if we keep on working on something, contributing to our organization, you will emerge out as a leader. I always believe in two things, that is best and rest. Those who wanted to rest in their life, the way you are working is resting. But those who wanted to contribute something extraordinary, they are the best, and people will remember you for the best, not for the rest in your life. The another thing is by virtue. It is the president of that Antarctica island is the leader. But the all the penguin, it is not just the little penguin, but every penguin has emerged out as a leader. So our job as an individual, when we are working as a head, when as a subordinate, even at the lower level, we should have a culture of coming up with the ship of leaders, not make a followers. Empower them in making a decision making. How? Like the little penguin has taken a decision to jump inside the water. What if he could sacrifice his life? People always laugh and say, he was a mad. But he has proved it with that paddling hard and struggle and everything. And he emerged out as a leader because of the risk taking capability and own decision making. Uh, you know, the capabilities he has. And after that, the rest of the penguin, that they are not just motivated by that action. It is not that they motivated by the action, but they have taken a very conscious decision to jump inside the water, to struggle again, to survive and to contribute towards the main objective. That is, if something is not there, we have a life inside the water. So our job is in an organization, when we are dealing with a subordinate or heading as an head, to make a ship of leaders, not just the follower, because empowering decision making is an important. To make everyone accountable is very important and responsible as well. So that's a small story related to the change management, talking about how we can transform an organization with communication, with the leadership style, and so many things, which is a part of a soft skill. When I say soft skill, it is a communication, whether it is a verbal or non-verbal communication, whether it is our decision-making capabilities, whether it is our leadership capabilities. So probably, therefore I have imbibed so many small case studies to cover both the topic of soft skill and the change management is bind together in this session. Now, when I say change, it is many people prefer working the way I am working, that is old way, my legacy and everything. This is the precedent and this is how we work and we feel proud. But there are people, they wanted to move ahead and wanted to work in a new way. So there's an old way, there's a new way also. We have both the ways. Choice is yours. You wanted to move ahead and take a next step, innovate, lateral thinking, innovation, new way, this and that. In our life, we see two kinds of people. The one people is something called as, intrinsic motivation is so high, they keep on working. You don't need to push them. They are like the pull factor is there. There are people you have to push them, right? They are the people we have to push them. So we have both the peoples and both the people are working in this organization. We have to identify their potential. That's it. Next. Okay. This is the next case study, that is change your vision. Again, I'm going to bind soft skill with the change management in this case study, change your vision. Change your vision is a case study about, the previous slide. Let me narrate the complete story. Okay, change your vision is a case study about a gentleman who's suffering an eye problem. So the gentleman who's suffering an eye problem, and that eye problem is so severe that he has a lot of pain and redness in the eye. All the time, the watery eye, the redness and everything is going on. He's so much in terrible pain that he can't focus on the life and on the file. It's continue, that this misery of eye pain is continue for 6 months. And 6 months, he kept on meeting so many eye specialists, surgeon, hospital, doctors, ear drops, so many things, antibiotic, this and that is going on. Horrible scene. 6 months, he is continuously in the pain. And towards the end, he's disappointed. And he was sitting at the one corner, disappointed. I really don't know what to do with my life and with the file of the offices. I just can't focus anything. So with this, one of his friend looking at him so disappointed. Can we go to the previous slide? Let me narrate the complete story. So the gentleman who's with this eye problem is so much, disappointed, sitting at the corner of one seat. One of his friend, he came to him and he was like, what happened to you, friend? He said, this is the problem. I can't focus anywhere. Tell me the solution, what to do. I have met so many doctors. He said, I have one solution for you, friend. Why can't you meet a monk who lives nearby our vicinity? He said, are you a mad? This is an eye problem. What this Baba will do, what this monk will do with my eye? So many doctors, so many surgeons, they have given me a medication. This is not working. Do you really think the Baba and their meditation and this and that will work? So he said, don't be furious. Your choice. I have given a solution. Take your time. So he thought overnight, and next morning he decided, since I have tried everything, let me go and meet this monk also. So he visited the monk and narrated the same story that, look, I am suffering from this eye problem, this and that. And I really don't know, sir, what to do. I'm really disappointed. After listening all his story, the monk has listened all the story. He said, I have one solution for you, gentlemen. He said, what, sir? He said, why can't you see everything in the green color? Probably the green color may gives you coolness and calmness in the eye. He said, sir, you really think it will work, the green color? He said, it will work. And I'll meet you after 25 days. So he has taken a solution. He came back and thereafter he instructed all the domestic helper, everyone in the organization or everywhere, he instructed that now onwards, I would like to see everything in the green color. So within a day and night, the domestic helper, the spouse, the kids and everyone, even in the organization, everyone has actually followed the instruction, and the curtains with the walls to the food to the dress, everything is converted into green, and it's like the whole world is in the green for that gentleman for the continuously 20 days. That is going on, and he's looking everything in the green color. The people who comes in front of, it's in the green color. The food he eats most of the time, it's a green color. All green is going in the life. So what happened one day after the 25 day, the same gentleman crossing his doorstep. The moment he crossed his doorstep, he thought, let me go and meet this gentleman who has a very unique problem. And even the doctor couldn't resolve it. Let me see whether something has happened or not. So he rang the bell from outside. All the domestic helper came out and they were like, whom you wanted to meet? He said, sir, I wanted to meet your boss who is suffering from this eye problem. He said, you can't meet our boss. You are in the orange color. By virtue, a monk is in the orange color. So you can't meet our boss. You have to be in the green color. He said, what foolish you're talking about? I can't change my dress in green. I have to be in the... He said, no, sir, if to meet my boss, you have to be in the green color. And they come and pour the green color to the monk. And monk is like, now I really wanted to meet your boss. So the boss and the monk, they come, face to face. And the monk asked the boss that, how are you feeling, gentlemen? He said, sir, you have done a miracle. You have done a miracle. I got a lot of coolness and calmness in my eye. He said, what you have done, gentlemen? He said, sir, whatever you have suggested me. So said, what I have suggested? Sir, you said to see everything in the green color. So he said, what you have done? He said, sir, everything you can see from my curtain to wall and everything is in the green color. Whosoever the house, the office bearer to the servant, to my wife and kids, everything, everyone is in the green color. So now in every day and day out, I'm looking everything in the green color. He said, wonderful. But this can be done by a single thing also. You have changed the whole world in the green color. But in place of that, you can also wear a green specs. So the story ends here. I'm sure you got the point. That changing the whole world in the green color in place of changing and fixing the whole problem, why can't you change your own vision and your own perspective? By a single green specs also you can see the whole world in the green color rather than making the whole world in green color. So whenever we have a problem in our life, whenever we see there is something to change in an organization, we wanted to fix every XYZ thing in an organization, but we don't want to change our perspective, our own mindset, our own vision. So that is very important when we're talking about change, when we're talking about leading transformation, especially in this unprecedented time, from digital library to digital India to moving ahead in education from our offline to online, and today we're meeting online. Everything has changed and transformed. And to transform, we cannot fix everything. What we can fix is our own mindset, our own vision, our own perspective, our own context. And that is very important in today's time. Can we move ahead? And that is what is the moral. It is foolish to shape and change the world. Let us shape ourselves first. Let us change our own vision, and the world will change accordingly. Can we change the next slide? I have another 10-15 minutes to go. So okay, so there is an inventory change management, know your style. I think that style and all takes a lot of time. So this presentation can be shared by the DELNET family to you, all of you, and you may assess your personality, that what is a strength inside me? What is my strength? What is my trait? I always say before implementing this inventory is, have you seen a rose plant? Have you seen a rose plant? I'm sure many of us have seen the rose plant. Do you really think a rose plant is a rose plant? No, a rose plant is not a rose plant. A rose plant is a full of thorns, and it is a thorns plant, not a rose plant. Am I right? How many of you are with me? I'm sure many of you. That a rose plant is not a rose plant, it is a full of thorns, and it is a thorns plant. But what is important is one rose blossom and the whole personality transform. If the one rose blossom, the whole personality transform. And we started calling that thorns plant, right? कांटों के पौधे को हम कहते हैं गुलाब का पौधा. That thorns plant transform into the rose plant, and the fragrance and the beauty all change immediately. And that's our personality. We all have weaknesses. Forget about weaknesses in the life. Just focus on the strength which you have. Imbibe and strive your strength. Make it plus plus, and let the plus blossom in your life. And you are the one who are going to change and transform your organization. Whenever there is a hurdle, you are the one who are going to change. So the inventory is towards the end, not here. The inventory is at the end. No. The inventory can be if the inventory can be shared, can we move the slide a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Dr. Surabhi, your voice is breaking in between, there's a little bit of disruption. So yeah, please kindly go ahead.
Can we change the slide?
I've already changed it.
I just can we just show the inventory? There's an inventory, and I wanted to show them that inventory, know your style. That what is that style? If you just see, it is towards the end. I have incorporated that inventory, and you can share the presentation with them so that they can identify this.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
After this. Yeah. So that is that's previous to this.
No, we are through with the slides just for a second.
No, so it is towards the end. The last 3-4 slide is the inventory.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can read the heading. You can read after this. After this.
Change.
Yeah, that's the
assessment. This one change.
This is a change
assessment.
Yeah. So it is an inventory which I'm talking about. There are 35 questions, and after the question, there are generally 7 traits in our personality, right? When we're talking about change. Adaptability, adventurous, optimistic, ambitious, resourcefulness. So every organization is looking for who is more resourceful person, who is very ambitious, who can lead the vision of an organization, who is the one who has a courage also, who will bell the cat. It is very important. We always look for people who can bell the cat, who can communicate the message also in a very subtle manner. So we need those courageous people also. Who is the one in the organization who is very adventurous, who have this risk-taking capabilities. So these, on the basis of that, if you just change the slide, 2 slides. So yeah, so based on certain 35 question, if you just rate it, and after that you can do the scoring of all your questions, you will get your traits. If your any of your percentage is coming out of 25, you're scoring 25, totaling is coming more than 25 in any of the category, that is the style in your personality. And we should imbibe and strive on those personality, because I am an asset to an organization as a contributor. So if I am optimistic personality, I'm a passionate. I love working. I'm so passionate, nothing can stop me. Nothing is impossible in my life. So if I identify some personality, and I'm sure you all have 2 to 3 traits in your personality, and you are the one who are going to lead and transform your organization the way you are dealing now. So that is what is the importance related to the change management, right? There's another hidden case study because we left with only 19 minutes. So I just narrate a last case study to summarize the whole thing. We don't have much time. Uh, I also request my audience to write one word, L-E-A-R-N, learn, L-E-A-R-N, learn. If you have written the word L-E-A-R-N, learn, can you encircle? There is another word inside the learn. There's another word inside the learn. Can you encircle? Wonderful. So the word inside. I think, madam, you deserve a round of applause. You.
No, not many others.
This is
Also, it's flooding. It's getting flooded now.
With the training, I think learning is what is our ultimate earning of the life. Learning, there is no winning and losing. It is only the earn. The more we earn, the more wisdom we have, right? So that's the real asset of our life, and that's what is the training which is organized for you all, that learn, earn, grow in your life. And that is very important. The last case study which I am going to administer in terms of the decision making, never ever delay in your making decision. So there is another case study with the image. If the slide can be changed a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I thought, this is the best way to communicate with my participant. Yeah, this is the case study. Can we move ahead? Yeah. That's if you can just show this much is
this slide. I think, yeah, this one. Yeah. Dr. Pandey, you're not able to. We are not able to hear you.
Yeah. So that is the slide. Can you change the slide? The next slide.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's it. She was thinking, ma'am, what is going to us? What is this all about? So this case study is Indian case study, right? And it is the Tata chairman's. And what happened? The Tata's group is very big group. And what happened in one of the plant of Jamshedpur, which is in the Jamshedpur, right? And Rusi Modi is a chairman of that Tata steel plants in Jamshedpur, right? So once he visited Jamshedpur, and long back in the year, in 1993, he visited that. And when he visited, he met all the supervisor and everyone. He is asking the question, are you happy? How's the environment and everything? So he's asking all about from his, the employees. So one of the employee, he suddenly said, sir, everything is good. It's just that the working hour is so long and we don't have even, a very hygienic toilet. So the one of the, the worker took up and he raised an issue. The quality and the hygiene of the toilet is not that healthy, sir. It is in the very pathetic situation. So the Rusi Modi, who's the top chairman at that time, he asked the executive, he immediately asked the executive that, is this the problem is genuine, what he narrated? He said, I need to check, sir. He said, please check it. Otherwise, I need to do something very urgent. Some decision has to be taken very urgent. So he said, yes, sir, he's right. And the situation is not that hygienic. He said, it is known to you. So he said, yes, sir, it is known to us. Then he said, what you have done? He said, sir, we have applied a tender and we invited people. We're looking that, we are going to renovate the toilet. He said, is that so? And how much time you have initiated this? He said, sir, from last 3 months, we have floated a tender and we're waiting. The moment we get the, the option, we can immediately start the construction of the toilets. Okay, he said, I have a solution and I can resolve it in a minute of time. So what he has done is, what you can see in front of your screen, he said, where is your toilet? I would like to see the executive toilet. So he said, sir, this is executive and this is for the supervisor. So he swapped the toilets, of executive to supervisor and supervisor to executive by changing the port. And that was the immediate decision which is taken by the chairman of Tata Steels. So this is how at times, the decision of such decision is very important in our life. And immediately, the toilet which is not the hygienic and, taking construction renovation is taking last 3 months was converted and absolutely in fine condition in a day of time. So at time, decision making is very important. At right time, right decision is important to support our team also. So that's a quick decision in a very timely manner as taken, and subsequently with the next day, the supervisor toilet is also hygienic as like the executive one. So if you really wanted to change something in an organization, that quick decision making is very important. Towards the end, I would like to close the session with few things, since we left with 45 minutes, and you might have questions also. So I'll go to the last slide immediately, ma'am. Change your vision to change your, that's the last slide, to change your life. And I would like to demonstrate you something here. The first demonstration is this. I know I had, this 100 bucks in my hand. Can you see? All of you can see? I'm sure you can see this 100 bucks. You must be thinking why I'm showing you 100 bucks, because that's the only thing which is available at front of me. So now related, this is a life also. You must be thinking how 100 rupees is my life. No, how it is. So there's a money and I've thrown, right? I have crushed it and I've thrown, right? I have crushed it and I've thrown. So I'm actually crushing it, giving a lot of pressure, crushing this, that, and throwing, right? You must be thinking, this lady is really a man, crushing this 100 rupees. And now there are a lot of crumbles in this 100 rupees, right? Now what is this? Still the 100 rupees, or the value has changed? Still the 100 rupees, right? After, despite of lot of crumbles, lot of, you may see the tearing and this and throwing, and still the value is 100. Again I'll crumble, and if I ask, the value is 100. So I'm taking a lot of pressure, but still my value is 100. It is intact 100, and 100 will remain 100. Now if I wanted to make 500, can I make it 500 from 100? Yes, you can multiply and make it 500. That's a team building. If I wanted to make 2000, again this 100 can multiply and make that 2000 job also. But that 2000 can make 100? No. 2000 cannot substitute 100. 5000 cannot substitute 100. But 100 can double and make 2000, 5000, 10,000, lakhs and crores. Ladies and gentlemen, what point I'm making here is that's a life. Keep your value intact. We may find at times a lot of pressure on us. We feel that we have been thrown in an organization. We have been crushed. Nobody is actually looking us. Nobody is actually giving attention what I am saying, right? The way I wanted to work, nobody is actually paying attention. I feel like thrown, crushed, no value at all. But you have a value. Till the time, it's still not tiered. So let the value intact. Let not somebody, tear this value off. It should be intact. That's me. I can double, I can make anything in my life, but the value should remain intact. Never let anyone to actually temper the value of this thing. That's your integrity. That's your value of life. We feel pressure. All of us feel pressure. Pressure, crush, thrown, not getting that promotion, this is that, conducive environment. But this is truly up to us. Maintain the integrity, maintain the value. You can make wonders with the team building, with leadership, decision making. You can make 1,000, 10,000, whatever critical tasks you can resolve. But that top will never come down and make anything. So you are the team builders. You are the one who can make anything and transform anything. And that's what is team building, the value and the integrity. My last demonstration is this. You must be thinking, what is this, right? And that's another demonstration. To demonstrate you, I have a very small story to actually conclude. That is a boy, a young boy who's studying in 8th standard and very close to the mother. And one day he got an assignment in SUBW, something called as social work in the classroom. So he got an assignment that he has to prepare a very beautiful canvas in a cloth, and crochet cloth. He has to prepare a beautiful canvas, anything, the mountains, the hills and all, he has to prepare and to submit. The boy is shocked. He was like, Mom, this is the homework I got, and this is not my cup of tea to, use the needle and thread and to make use of that cloth and to then prepare a canvas in that. It's not my cup of tea. I'm going to fail. I get a 0. I can't do anything. So he has actually given up. So the mom is like, don't worry. You just observe what I am doing. And if you find it, you will submit. So the mom whole night, with that crochet cloth, use that thread and multiple colors, she started and designing and making a canvas. Throughout the night, she was awake and making that canvas. And morning, she was like, probably my son would be happy to see this. So the morning, the boy wake up and the mom is like, how is this canvas, my son? She said, how's this canvas, my son? Son is like, mom, this is pathetic. All the threads are coming out. It's looking mess. I'm not going to submit it. I'm not going school, this and that. So mom is like, do you really think it is a mess? He said, yes, the threads are coming, the threads are coming. No colors, nothing. It's looking mess. He said, boy, you come and sit on my lap and try and see the things which I have designed for you. So the boy I came and sat on the lap of the mother, and suddenly he realized that it is really very beautiful. The cloth is very beautiful, the canvas is very beautiful. And he was like, thank you so much, mom. My perspective has changed. And that's in our life also. When we see the things from our own, you have put a lot of effort and everything, but time you getting a very ridiculous comment, nobody can see the thing from your own angle. In the initial remark, Dr. Sangeeta has mentioned empathy, emotional intelligence, and these are the things that are important in today's life. And that's what is empathy, going to others' shoes and see the hard work, the task somebody has done. And that is the mess. In every cloth, there is a mess at the backside, but when you see from other side, it is a clean cloth. And that's what, if we see the hard work, if we see the things, you may find there is a beauty inside. But with that beauty, there is a hard work also. So there is always a two sides of the any task. The hard work which is not visible to us, which is a mess at times, but when we go and see the mess, we may find that there is a beautiful canvas also. So whenever you treat your employee, your peers, and everyone in the organization, have that empathy, understand going to their shoe, and understand that where is the problem. See the positive angle of that, and you may find it is beautiful. The hard work, the work which has gone, it is beautiful, it is commendable. And that's what our life is: empathy, emotional intelligence. And that's, I thought, I demonstrate you with this. That gives an impact to our mind also, to remember that's always a hard work has a needle and thread, but there is a beauty also that you have to identify and see. So always there is a two perspective in life. See both the perspective. Do not judge the people just because of the thread. Do not take decision on the basis of this threads, but take the decision on the basis of other side also. That's very important in decision making. Empathy, soft skill, many things. So soft skill is not just about the timely taking a decision, time management, the leadership, empower and make more leaders. Leadership is all about action. Motivate people, influence people, transform organization, change your mindset and change your organization. Imbibe on your strength, forget about weakness. Everyone has that, remember that thorns are there, but people will see the rose and you will blossom and transform your organization and your life. So I think with this, I close the session and I try and imbibe soft skill with the change management in this short time of 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pandey. One of the most finest presentations I've ever listened to. It's beyond any expression. Stupendous, superb presentation in such a lucid manner that you have presented it. And we are going to remember it. The case studies and also the way that you presented them, everything has been etched, and I think it has been a great delight for each and every attendee who has been here. And your message is not just going to remain constructive only to them, they're certainly going to spread it across to many more. Citing the case studies that you have mentioned and the way that you presented them, flawless. It has been one of the, I think, most memorable webinars that we have conducted. And we really look forward to the normal times wherein we can invite you in person here at DELNET. That would be among the first few things that we are going to do once we start off doing the programs in the physical environment, Dr. Surabhi. It has been really such a, it's beyond any expression. It truly an inspirational one from all sides. The way that you have conveyed the message so strongly. It's not just simply having those skill sets, but it's also more to do. What are we ultimately doing as a human being, and how to have imbibe those strong human qualities. And thank you so very much. And we really,
I hope I justified the topic. I hope I've justified the topic in a very short time
very
of
much,
change with the
no,
soft
very
skills.
much. It is, we could not have thought of anything, better than this. And no one else to have done, it, it's something, which is, it shows not only the experience, but it also shows that how closely you have been trying to convey this message to others. It's not just simply giving them kind of what are those skill sets, but those skill sets one can acquire if one really thinks about, having those strong human values. So this, the last example also that you have cited of this value, we could see that, the responses coming in. And I would just like to tell you out of this, some of they're mentioning Ranjana Deshwal, very informative and motivational lecture. It will be helpful in professional and personal life also. And saying that it has been a great delight, attending to this session. Many of the feedbacks, which are really strongly,
Really,
echoes the sentiment of everyone.
The compliment goes to you that you thought of
No,
combining soft skill with management is one of its kind, and to communicate both the things together on this platform.
you have done.
And I look forward that we have an
Sure.
opportunity where I can interact and talk more on this whenever
Exactly.
time comes in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
I'm
so
really
much.
delighted.
Yeah. Thank you,
that
Gaia. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Surabhi. And now we would like to make the floor open for questions, because I'm pretty confident and sure that many of our attendees
that
may
is-
like to further gain, we are just making the floor open. Please kindly introduce yourself quickly and be very, very precise in asking your question. We have Mr. Aman Kumar Khushwa, who may like to ask a question. Aman, I have unmuted you, requesting you unmute yourself and quickly ask your question. Only once we will mention the name, otherwise I'll move on to the next speaker, next attendee. Mr. Aman Kumar Khushwa, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Aman is not able to do it. Let me just move, because we have not many people who are wanting to ask a question to our distinguished speaker today, Mr. Amit Lekhe. Amit, you are connected. Please introduce yourself and ask the question. Amit Lekhe. Amit, you are connected right now, Amit. Please ask the question. Mr. Amit Lekhe. If you're not able to do it, I'm compelled to move to the next attendee who may like to ask a question. Anish George may like to ask a question. Mr. Anish George, Anish, I have unmuted you. Please unmute yourself and quickly ask the question. Anish George, I would just be requesting once, and in the second round again, you can then raise the hand. So let me just quickly go for Anurag Shrivastava may like to say something. Mr. Anurag Shrivastava, Anurag, I have unmuted you. Please unmute yourself and ask the question. Anurag Shrivastava, Anurag, please unmute yourself and ask the question. On the right-hand side on your screens, you will be getting this icon of a, yes, Anurag, you are connected. Please ask the question, Anurag. Anurag, you are connected right now. Mr. Anurag Shrivastava, please speak, Anurag. I think he's having a problem. We'll just see and go for the next attendee. Asif Hussain Syed. Asif Hussain Syed.
They can
Asif,
write on the
yes, but they're posting,
they can write in the chat box.
Yeah, in the chat
and
box
you can
also.
ask the same question.
Yeah, exactly. But there is no question which is coming. The Asif Hussain Syed, could you please unmute yourself? Let me just ask one question which has been posted by this question is posted by Rashmi Kumbar, Dr. Rashmi Kumbar, and she says, what role has synergy in the change management process? What role has synergy in the change management process? This question is posed by Dr. Rashmi Kumbar. Would you like to say something, Dr. Surabhi Pandey?
I think there is some network issue. I can't.
What role synergy has in the change management process? Synergy.
Hello. Ma'am, I can't hear you. Hello.
Are you able to hear me, Dr. Surabhi?
Yeah, I can't hear you, ma'am.
You're not able to hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Just for a second.
No, I can't able
to. I think, some, let me just, can you hear me or not, Dr. Surabhi? Can you hear me, Dr. Surabhi?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, fine. So this question was from Dr. Rashmi Kumbar. What's the role of synergy in the change management process?
See, great. I must compliment. Who's this? Rashmi ji.
Rashmi Kumbar. Yes, yeah.
Synergy is very important part of any team when we are working as a team, cohesive group, and the ability of any group to outperform and to come out as a best, which is the ultimate aim of any transformation and a change. So that synergy is basically your cohesiveness, your contribution, your ability to outperform in a group and give the best, which is actually leading in the organization part. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, yeah, we are able to hear you.
So I'm sure I have answered your question that synergy is important, and how to manage a synergy in change management is basically the cohesiveness in the group and how that group outperform and give best in any of the situation or transformation which we are a part of it. It is truly the cohesiveness and the synergy which plays a role in this. It's important to simulate energy approach in the transformation.
Thank you, Dr. Surabhi. I can see many of our attendees who who have raised their digital hands to ask the question. Quickly would like to go to Anjali Sharma. Anjali, please unmute yourself. We have sent you an unmute request. Anjali Sharma, please unmute yourself to ask your question. I think many of it happens in the digital environment, new platform for many of them, and to unmute again is a challenge. Balasau Chogle may like to ask a question. Mr. Balasau, yes, you are corrected, Mr. Balasau. Please, you may kindly speak and ask your question. Mr. Balasau, please ask your question. It looks to be some issue right now. Bhumika Ughade.
No issue.
We'll just take a couple of Bhumika Ughade. Bhumika, could you please unmute yourself and ask the question? Bhumika Ughade, could you please unmute yourself and ask the question? Let me just see if we have in the chat box, if any. Okay, this is a question to you. And this question is from Dr. Anita Gangrade, who may like to ask, what is the hard side of change management in an organization? Dr. Anita Gangrade is from ILM Institute from Jaipur. And this question to you, Dr. Pandey, what is the hard side of change management in an organization? What are the major challenges that we can see for change management in an organization?
The first and foremost is resistance. The resistance from an individual that I don't want to change. There are a lot of resistance from an organization. There are people, they feel insecure. They think the way it is working, it is absolutely right. So that is a resistance. At times we threat from the upcoming skills. They think I don't know the skills and this is how this skill is going to change. And probably I'm not able to lead it in that. So that resistance somewhere, upskilling, underconfidence, those things, we are not unknown. There are something called as unknown in the organization. So that fear of unknown, the individual resistance, the skill lack, there are small issues which are the challenging part of a change management. But there are ways to address those fear of unknown, upskilling it, how to reduce the resistance of any individual, and then aligning you with the organizational vision is an important. So these are the few hurdles, and it's quite easy to address these hurdles also.
This is yet another question, Dr. Surabhi. This is from Rishabh Panchal, who may like to ask what to do if our colleagues and our seniors are not able to see our vision. If our seniors and colleagues are not able to see.
It happens. It happens. What is important is that continuous perseverance is very important. Don't give up, right? Don't give up. At times, things may take its own time to make convert it. We also feel in our organization, we also started a journey like you only as a youngsters, full of enthuse, full of innovation, so many things in the mind. We wanted to reach to the moon and change the world. But hold on, you will get your time. The time will come. Never let your aspiration go down. Go ahead with that aspiration and ambition. Things will come, things will fall in place. People will recognize you one day. So never ever get discouraged by any of these things. Remember that, I have shown you that 100 rupees, 500. So let that 100 rupees and value and all those things, and you will always remain at like that. You may find the things are not moving, crushed and this and that and thrown, but your time will come, remain it intact. You are the one who make and double the things in the life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Surabhi. And this is now quickly, we would just like to see, because there are one or two of our, we'll just take maximum 5 minutes of yours.
I would like to take as many questions, Dr. Sangeeta, but my next session is at 4:15.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you that, because I was knowing that, you have a session. You have been very kind in accommodating our request, and you told me the other day also about it.
I love talking to people who have told me a physical. I have enjoyed more. But really to you for considering me.
No, thank you. We'll just quickly try to take some 2 or 3 questions for 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. Bhumika Ugade. Bhumika, I have unmuted you, requesting you, please unmute yourself only once. I would try, otherwise we'll move to the next one if you're not able to do that. We'll just move to our next attendee. Bindu Suryavanshi may like to ask a question. Bindu Suryavanshi, Bindu, please unmute yourself if you may like to ask a question. You have raised your digital hand, Bindu. I think they need to get yet another hard skill to make the use of the online platforms, and all of us are in the learning phase of doing this. Disha S may like to ask a question. Disha, I have unmuted you. Quickly unmute yourself if you may like to ask a question. Disha S. I think we would be requesting them to send across the queries to you through email, because I would try to get the connection established with Dr. D.D. Lal from.
You can send the question. You can send the question. I'll reply all the answers. I would love to answer all the questions.
Thank you. We'll just try to see. I'll just take, this is the last one, trying to get a connection established with Dr. D.D. Lal from NBRC Gurgaon. Dr. Lal, I have sent you an unmute request if you can get established. Otherwise, this is the last one. No, he's not able to do that. And there are not many questions which are there. I'll send you the entire chat box to you, Dr. Pandey, and you could see that how much interest it has generated. Every minute, there are two questions which are coming in. I'm going to send across entire Excel file to you, and you must see, this and how. What is a kind of interest your session, a superb session has generated, and indeed much grateful. I know that you have to head for the next your own academic session at IIPA. So thank you so much on behalf of DELNET and on behalf of each one of us for giving such a wonderful opportunity for us to listening to you, listening to your vast expertise. And may God bless you with enough energy, not much of energy, and you keep on radiating this positivity which you are full of. We wish you the very best. Thank you so much for taking out time for us, Dr. Pandey. And we really look forward to having you back again, because you hold an expertise. I saw your profile. I was thinking to whether invite you for the data analytics or to invite you for the change management. And I thought, let's start off with the change management, and we're going to come back to you as you wear various hats and you have an expertise in a lot of the areas.
Really enjoyed my session, and you manage the show from the back end. So I'm really thankful to you for handling my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I look forward to have the question and to reply to those. Thank you, my audience. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Pandey. Thank you so much, each one of you. It was indeed a wonderful pleasure interacting with each one of you. And we look forward to having many more interactions with all of you. I would also like to thank, my own colleague, Mr. Kushal Goswami, for coordinating it technically from DELNET. And a big thank you to Dr. Surabhi for making this afternoon a truly, truly a memorable afternoon for each one of us. Thank you so much, Dr. Surabhi, and thank you, each one of you, for being a part of this webinar. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.